When I say he is risen, you say he is risen indeed. He is risen! Did you do it? Are people looking at you funny? They should be. Anyway, if you thought that was fun, here are 5 extraordinary things about Easter. Number 1, the amazing, self-impregnating bunny. Ever wonder how the most popular non-religious character associated with Easter got to be a giant rabbit? It isn't entirely clear, but my personal favorite explanation is that the Easter bunny was originally not a rabbit, but a hare. And in fact, in much of the Easter celebrating world, he is still depicted as a hare to this day. And back in the day, hares were thought to be hermaphrodites capable of producing offspring without the need for sex. This belief led to early Christians associating hares with the Virgin Mary. And there's your Easter bunny. I guess by the time they figured out that rabbits and hares were just about the least virginal mammals on the planet, it was too late to change it. Number 2, the incredible sepulchral egg. Most of us might assume that the Easter egg would be the most well-known symbol of the holiday to not refer in some way to a gruesome public execution, but we'd be wrong. Many Christians associate Easter eggs with the crucifixion of Jesus. Take those plastic eggs children chase after in Easter egg hunts. The candy inside represents the gift of salvation, and the empty egg symbolizes the empty tomb. Early Christians took to colorizing eggs red to represent the blood of Christ, which I find quite cheerful. See, even the colorful, kid-friendly parts of this holiday are drenched in gore. Number 3, the fantastic festival with many names. In most of the English-speaking world, the holiday that celebrates the resurrection of Jesus is called Easter, but nearly everybody else who celebrates the holiday calls it Pascha, or some derivation thereof. In the 8th century, the English monk Bede wrote that the term Easter was derived from Istra, an old pagan goddess whose feast had taken place the same month, though it's possible that Bede got the name wrong and intended to refer to Ostara, an Anglo-Saxon goddess of the dawn. And some say that neither Istra nor Ostara were goddesses at all and are in fact modern inventions, and the name Easter and its German equivalent Ostern come from an ancient German word meaning dawn. Christ, that's a lot of work to avoid just calling it Pascha. Number 4, the really rather interesting pagan origins. Whatever you call it, Easter as we celebrate it today owes quite a bit to the pagan traditions it replaced. As with Christmas and Halloween, the early church created Easter by writing its own holiday over top of pre-existing festivals. Pagans and Christians shared an appreciation for stories of death and resurrection, but springtime pagan festivals tended to be celebrations of fertility, which obviously had to go when the whole thing was recentered on Jesus. So eggs became symbols of the crucifixion and resurrection, and rabbits and hares became symbols of virginity. And when children started asking how any of that made the least bit of sense, they started making the eggs and the Easter bunnies out of chocolate, hoping that that would shut the kids the hell up. Number 5, the miraculous risen God zombie. Yes, finally. It's not about the eggs, you all, or the bunny, or the etymology of the word, or the pagan influences. Easter is about celebrating the fact that God sent his only son, who was also himself, to earth to be nailed to a cross so that he could kinda but not really die and come back to life, thus somehow creating a technicality that enabled God to admit sinners into heaven without changing his no sinners allowed rule, which he just really didn't want to do. Personally, I don't find it all that inspiring. But hey, at least there's chocolate. The hardest part is picking only 5. Catch you next time. Hey folks, hope you enjoyed this one. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. And also please consider helping me to make more videos like this one by supporting this channel through Patreon. You can go to patreon.com/Steve Shives to become a patron. Thanks for watching, and I hope the Easter Bunny brings you something nice.